TitleMatchNetwork.com.
It's kind of like the Tough Enough thing where, I watched that. I heard about it where Bob Holly beat up Matt. I want to fucking see this. So I watched the Tough Enough thing and I'm like, it's a fucking problem. Bob Holly's beat the fuck out of me probably more than anyone. And every time Bob's beating me up, I went back, thank you, Bob, shook his hand because that's how you get respect. When Matt's crying in the ring, it's a reality check what Bob did to you. Man, Bob's fucking done 10 times worse things to me and fuck, I love it. What are you going to do? You going to fucking complain? Like Matt wants to cry and complain? Well, there's a fucking door.
Right.
Yeah, you don't, that's not the way you get respect in the business. You get your ass handed to you and you come back and learn from that and build off that. That's how you get respect. And I went to TV. Let me think the town I was in. I wrestled Kurt Angle in the dark match. This is when Kurt Angle was still doing dark matches. Actually, Kurt Angle came in Memphis and started down there as I was leaving. As I was leaving to go out of it. So Kurt stayed there. Bruce says, we're going to have you come TV this week and, we might have something in mind for you. I didn't know what they had in mind.
Would this be Milwaukee?
This wouldn't be Milwaukee. This would be before Milwaukee.
Okay.
I forget where it was, but this is the idea. I wrestled the match with Kurt. They just wanted to see what I looked like because I hadn't been up there a while. Match with Kurt was good. I was happy. Kurt was happy. And the office was happy. So Bruce says, okay. They call me up. I think he called the phone. He says, we have this idea where we want to make you Hardcore Holly's cousin. So I don't know if you know what's going on with Bob. I said, yeah, I know Bob. He thinks he's a super heavyweight. He goes, that's what we want to do. He goes, we want to make you Bob's cousin and you think you're a super heavyweight. Just dye your hair blonde and you got the seamstress make you the tights. That's all they told me. That's the only thing they got. I never got any rhyme or reason or direction as far as for anything else they wanted. So everything as far as for being Crash, and that was my idea of how to act and how to interact or what I should do to help get Bob over, because this was something. The thing about Bob Holly is they didn't tell Bob. They didn't ask Bob, do you want a cousin? They just said, you're getting a fucking cousin. Bob's like, what? And I can see Bob's point. Bob, when I first met Bob, Bob didn't like me. Bob's fucking straight ahead. You don't fuck around. He'll tell you what's on his mind, and I respect Bob for that. I felt bad in some ways because Bob was starting to get over with the super heavyweight thing, and he was finally starting to get some spots and work with some of the guys he hadn't with. So I was like, oh fuck, I could see where, man, I'm gonna get the fuck beat out of me. I could tell, but I'll take it. That's cool with me. It just starting off with that and working with that. I think that's the case of working with Bob is. Everything leading up to that, if I didn't have the experience that I did as far as for humbly of knowing what to do, I don't think it would have worked because I think just, I should say, was that the character of starting off with Crash Holly, you're not supposed to be an offensive character. You're supposed to get the fuck beat out of you.
Right.
That's how a story starts off. That's the angle where they're going with, where it's fighting cousins and you just fight amongst each other,
Did he help you at all inside or outside the ring?
Bob was fucking great. Bob, I learned a lot from Bob. Bob would listen and Bob would shoot shit straight to you. He wouldn't fuck around. He wouldn't sugarcoat stuff. He would shoot it out to you straight, whether you liked it or not. I earned a lot of Bob's respect because I just took the beatings, and I wouldn't have it any way. I'd go back and do it the same way. I love Bob Holly. He's great. If it wasn't for Bob Holly and the idea they have, I think the original idea for Crash was Vince Russo, because I was coming up there when Russo was going out. The original idea for the name and the concept was Russo, which the funny idea is when I come out in Milwaukee, here I am, the only promo I've ever done. I did like one in APW, Then I did the one Memphis Power Pro promo, which got cut off by Kid Wickets. It wasn't even a promo. I said like 5 words. We get up there to Milwaukee. I got my hair dyed. They give me my tights. Someone comes and gives me my lines, what to say, and I got a promo. Like, what the fuck is this? They don't give you, and then they give me no direction of how to talk or how to do anything. I don't know why that company up there, it's sink or swim in a lot of aspects. Let's see what you can do. And that was a concept. It's kind of like the tryout, like, you can do it, they're going to go on with it. But somebody obviously must have liked me because I wouldn't have gotten that spot if they did.
Right. What do you remember working your first pay-per-view, SummerSlam 99?
Everything happened so fast. It's just, it's hard to put into words unless you actually experience it, of working up there, especially when the business was hot. Here we are. The business is so hot where you got between 15 and 18,000 people, some of these shows, and just, it all happened so fast to where it doesn't seem real because you work so many years to get somewhere and then you get thrown with somebody and a gimmick of being a super heavyweight and what they're doing. It's just like, it doesn't seem real at the time because, especially coming from Mexico, working in a fucking shithole where, and you got cockroaches everywhere and rodents. I try to go running and do cardio on the streets tonight. Fuck, man, it's just filthy down there, and you don't know whether you're gonna get jumped or mugged, and you just gotta watch out. Going from that element there to going up to a company and so much closer and things just clicking right away, it's hard to explain. It doesn't seem real. Going out there and working it. I think the first night in Milwaukee, they never showed it on TV because it's when they taped Raw one. They're still taping Raw. We actually did that stuff there, but then in the end, we ran down, me and Bob and I think The Undertaker both laid us out, which they never showed. So just being involved with a lot of those guys and then just doing the promo like I did on the Big Show and The Undertaker, it doesn't seem real because you never think you're going to get to that point. At least a lot of the guys, you hope you can get to that company. You think you have the talent. You want to show what you can do. You bust your ass for a number of years and learn from your experiences. But when it actually happens, it doesn't seem real. Because am I really here? Is it really going on? So it's kind of like a dream, or it just doesn't seem real.
Whose idea was it for you to carry the scale to the ring?
I don't know if it was Ed Ferrara, or somebody comes up to us. If we were in California at the time, and someone says, "We have this idea since you're super heavyweights. I want you to go out there. I want you to, carry the scale to the ring." And Bob's like, "A fucking scale." And me, I start thinking, because I like sarcastic comedy. It was a perfect fit for me, the being with Bob. I didn't know it could be good. I'm like, man, that's so fucking, some of the ideas up there that you wouldn't think will work, or some people at least wouldn't think work, will get over so big. Kind of like Moppy. Moppy's so fucking off the wall, and Perry is someone who's so serious, and he goes out there and does this, but they give Perry this fucking gimmick, and it's so off the wall, but the people are fucking eating it up. Fucking Moppy is so ridiculous. The thing about the scale is so ridiculous. Here's Bob, and here's this fucking guy. Here's this fucking midget. I've called myself a midget. Here's this guy carrying a scale, and they're gonna weigh people for it. It's so sarcastic. Comedy. My thing about wrestling is comedy will always work. If it's done the right way by the right people at the right time, comedy can work. And carrying the scale to the ring, it just fucking worked with us.
What did you think of the gimmick? I mean, you liked it, obviously.
I love the thing with Bob. Bob got hurt, and that's why I wasn't with Bob. I wish I would have got to tag longer with Bob. I mean, we started to get over, not for our tag matches because we didn't have a finish. We didn't have any tag team moves. Bob liked to do his thing. It's like I just sat there and like, whatever you want to do, Bob. You're cool. Bob's a veteran. He's the leader. Even though I've been doing a number of years, Bob, it's your deal. Whatever you think. And even the guys working you, it's whatever you think, whatever you want to do. What you think goes best. I wish I would have got to tag longer with Bob because I thought we got so many pre-tapes in the back. We had such good chemistry, me and him. He's the straight guy. I'm the fucking idiot. And actually the inspiration for the promo in the beginning, because I didn't know, I thought, fuck, how do I do a promo? How should I act? Because this is a big test. Here I am in Milwaukee, and there's going to be so many fucking people here. How do I act out there? I knew my particular lines, which you don't have to say verbatim, but I knew I had to get certain points across. There's a guy named Joe Applebomber, works in California. Joe's got that real, yeah, kid. What do you want to do? Yeah. So I thought if I take a little bit of Joe and a little bit of myself and have that kind of, that little bit of personality, because I can do that, because a little bit that's in me, that's where I got the idea for that.
TitleMatchNetwork.com